Welcome to the Blind Spot. Today we're looking at a song you most likely learned as a child, but whose true history speaks volumes about the American spirit, Yankee Doodle. This seemingly simple song is a testament to American self-reliance and resilience. It tells the story of how a powerful, entrenched empire tried to use satire to belittle a group of colonists, and how those colonists, instead of submitting, transformed the insult into a declaration of national character. Yankee Doodle began life as a satirical hit among British forces in the mid-1700s, particularly during the French and Indian War in 1754 and 1763. The core purpose of the song was to mock the colonial militia, highlighting what the British establishment saw as their rustic backwardness and absurd pretensions. The term Yankee itself was pejorative, implying a simple, often crude provincial, and Doodle meant a fool or a simpleton. Together they were calling colonists American idiots. This was a broad critique of the colonial way of life, their lack of military training, their homespun manners, their general deviation from proper European etiquette. The British officers would sing these verses to make light of the American militiamen, who often showed up in patched, mismatched clothing, armed with their personal hunting rifles, trying to appear fashionable in the field. The British viewed this inherent American self-sufficiency not as a strength, but as an embarrassing provincialism. The most famous lyrics used to capture this mockery were, Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle, dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. The key line here is called it macaroni. In 18th century Europe, a macaroni was a man who adopted extravagant, high-fashion styles, often to an absurd degree. The insult was clear. Simple colonist puts a common feather in his cap and genuinely believes he has achieved sophisticated high fashion. It was a sneer at the colonist's supposed delusion and lack of refined taste. Here's where the song's history becomes distinctly American. Instead of being demoralized by the insult, colonists embraced it. They adopted the song not just as a defiant gesture, but as a genuine anthem, rejecting the notion that their worth was dictated by European aristocratic standards. This act of cultural appropriation was powerful. It stripped the insult of its sting. When the Americans sang Yankee Doodle, they were essentially saying, yes, we are the rough and ready Yankees, and we are proud of our simple, independent way of life, free from your over-the-top, expensive sophistication. As tensions escalated into the Revolutionary War, the colonists began adding their own verses, often humorous and designed to turn the mockery back onto the British troops. These extended lyrics capture the early rugged military culture of the fledgling American forces. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding. There we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding, and there was Captain Washington upon a slapping stallion, giving orders to his men. I guess there was a million. And there they had a swamping gun, large as a log of maple, on a little cart, a load for father's cattle. And every time they shoot it off, it makes a dreadful noise, sir, and frightens all the men around, and scares the little boys, sir. These verses vividly portray a self-made army, a community effort led by figures like Captain Washington, George Washington. The tools and weapons are crude, drawn from the resources of the farm and the forest, reflecting the resourceful nature of the early Americans. They were not ashamed of their homespun methods. They saw them as the engine of their new liberty. This defiant spirit solidified the American identity. people determined to govern and defend themselves. The story concludes with the ultimate ironic victory in 1781 at the Battle of Yorktown. The defeated British forces under General Cornwallis marched out to surrender. Accounts confirm that the American and French bands played Yankee Doodle. The song that began as an instrument of ridicule had become the triumphant anthem of the newly independent nation. The Doodles had won their freedom. Yankee Doodle remains a crucial piece of our cultural history, symbolizing the power of the underdog. It demonstrates that true strength often lies not in wealth, pedigree, or elaborate uniforms, but in simple ingenuity, fierce independence, and the resilience to embrace criticism and turn it into empowerment. It is a musical tribute to the founding values of our self-governing republic. Thank you for joining me today. Did you learn anything you didn't already know about Yankee Doodle? If you would like to support this video series, please engage with the video or audio podcast on the platform. If you'd like to provide more direct support and unlock unblurred versions of the videos, consider becoming a member of my Patreon. Go to patreon.com/theblindspotpodcast to review the details and choose your focus level. Watch for my upcoming video on Christmas. Thank you again, and keep searching to find your focus.